All right, Smashites. We're here for another edition of the Smashdale Fantasy Football Podcast, otherwise known as Shut Up and Fish. So I don't know if any of you have out there been doing any fishing, but as it is July and it is in the 90s, wherever you may be, it kind of is the summer doldrums, but it is time to fish. A lot of fish to be had out there. I'll try to keep up my Crippled Guy Outdoors channel on YouTube for you to enjoy the latest fish catch, whatever that might be, of the day. Well, here we are, July 6th. Now, all the fireworks, per se, have all kind of dimmed down in our league. Not a lot of huff and puffing. There's just a lot of chatter going on about so and so looks like he might really be ready to break through and this and that. I've heard a lot of that type stuff. Um, Used to get excited about that, but generally between coach speak and the fact that they are indeed not in pads and not hitting anybody can play a role in the lack of a, as Dylan would call it, a half chub, if you will. Speaking of which, half chub is due a second child, in fact, a boy, next month here. So he does have the gourd, and now he will indeed have Edison on board. And so he's incubating, if you will, the future talent in terms of general managers that should indeed help to propagate the league when uh, in several years that I am no longer have the capacity to swallow. Then somebody else can come in and go ahead and ruin all the rules and make it the millennial, whatever they're going to call those agers. But I hope it goes on and into perpetuity, in perpetuity. Lack of another word there, basically forever. Okay, so this is the podcast number, I believe, three for the season. Let's say off season. Like I said, not a lot going on. We've got chippers and chappers about things going on in Kansas City about all that receiver sure looks good and nobody knows him. Um, Sammy Watkins is over there now in Jaguar land, so I don't know. Personal view on that is he's probably wide receiver or four, probably wide receiver four with a ceiling. Because the big dude in town, I think the alpha who's going to rise above the crust is uh, is Rashad Bateman there. So hard to say what they're going to do because that will affect the outcomes of how the star lands, where the arrow is pointing, basically on Travis Etienne and one James Robinson. So some article came out the other day. Oh, they should change that Robinson character, trade him. But then what do you do with the guy who you really could have used uh, every game last year? Um, just didn't make a lick of sense to make that switch. However, they think they can use them in tandem. What do I say when I say tandem? Okay, what they do is they can bring both of them out on the same field. Not very often, just kind of a decoy. They don't, again, they don't run a tandem offense very often, but they are really uh, fascinated with working ETN on the outside and in the slot and just um, total change, total upside down change. So I don't know if he's doing it Urban Meyer as far as some kind of trickies or something, or some way of don't look this way, look that way. Um, Sorry, we've got some sliced animal crackers on set here. Personal favorite. So ETM could be spending a lot of time out of the backfield. I'm sure he'll run the ball a lot. I'm sure Robinson will run the ball a lot, but Robinson ran the ball probably 250 times last year. And I would bet that he breaks 200 just because of the timeshare going on with he and ETN. I just don't see um, enough pigskin to go around. So I think it's going to really kind of be a little bit of a bloodbath in that backfield, but I wouldn't shy away from it. I wouldn't mind buying into it um, because I think they're going to find a way to manage that load. I know sooner or later, uh, probably Robinson isn't going to do it. Okay, here we go. All right, all right. Number of carries. Number of carries for the 5'9", 220 pounder. All right, 240 carries. So I was 10 carries off. I said there was likely 200 carries, but he ran 240 carries for 1,070 yards, caught 49 balls. So he had, you know, 1,400 yards on the year and 10 touchdowns as an undrafted free rookie, free agent. So I don't know. I'm figuring what 17 times 3 is 50. Benefit of the doubt, give him 200 carries for 800 yards, 5 touchdowns, 30 catches for 300 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's going to make him an RB3 right now. Time will tell on that. But another one that fascinates me right now is J.K. Dobbins in Baltimore. Again, Dobbins probably didn't exceed 200 carries, but a lot of the pundits, and myself included, pretty much is that um, he is a bona fide stud, and he could produce in that 2,000 yard total yard numbers range, with 12 touchdowns. Uh, had they not just limited him to about 200 calories, uh, carries, carries as a rookie. All right, let's see what we got here. How many carries? How many carries? Here we go. All right. All right. Guy's got speed. He's 5'10", 215 pounds, something like that. Let's see what he's got here. I'd like to see his number of carries, round two pick, of course. All right. Uh, 444 in the 40. Let's see. NFL, 134 carries. Wow. 134 carries. He needs at least another 130 carries. Breaking that out, he would have had 805 yards. Let me share this. He would have 1,600 yards, 18 touchdowns, 250 yards receiving. So, close to a 2,000 yard back. That is J.K. Dobbins. Now, I don't know what they plan on doing next year. They've got other backs there. Uh, I just don't know what they plan on doing there. How much is Lamar going to run? I think he's going to be the stud though. Okay, Jalen J.K. Dobbins. Anyway, there's not been a lot really going on. Like I said, there's been some trades, some uglier trades that have been put out on the wire. I will I will pull up one such trade live here. If we can go to that, let me go ahead and share that screen for you right there. And let's see. Here we go. Okay. All right. So let's see if there are any trades, first of all, that are being purported. Okay. I got to come in here as the owner and show you folks the groundbreaking stuff taking place here. All right. Look right here. Here we are. All right. Now, on July 1st, Laces Out offered 22 round three draft pick from me, 2023 round two from Laces Out, and a 2023 round three from Laces Out. So basically, what happens here is those picks for Rashad Bateman. So next year's round three from me from Smash, and Laces Out gives a 23 year 2023 a round two and three and 23 and a round three and 22 for Bateman. I'm going to go ahead and just generally click no here and go ahead and cancel that. So not really looking to pile up with a bunch of third round picks, just not quite feeling that. I don't see that there's any other trades going on here. Some strange moves on the waiver wire of late here. Ragnar, for some reason, he picked up something called Jarrett Patterson, running back, Washington. Uh, and then he also went ahead and picked up no more than Alameda Zacchaeus. Olamida Zacchaeus, the little wide receiver from Atlanta. But he dropped something called Terry Tyrannosaurus, free agent, and Jonathan Adams, of course, free agent. So bench material there. Uh, Laces Out actually made a couple of slick moves recently here. Of course, he did that trade with Fall Guy, but then he had a couple slots to open, so he acquired Cadre Olison. running back, Atlanta, picked him up, and then he picked up a too young to be a journeyman, but yet right, Foster Moreau, uh, probably a number 5 tight end, but if things happen in the right manner, then things can happen. Let's see, that's the 30 days. So that's been going on in the last 30 days. Uh, there isn't a lot of what I would call groundbreaking news. Kind of on these quarterback fronts, we're looking at Deshaun Watson, still no movement, no trade movement, no prosecution movement. So here we wait. We've got Aaron Rodgers holding out, doesn't want to play in Green Bay. We've got Jalen Hurts taking some heat about not being a quarterback. And then in New Orleans, we have Taysom Hill and the Jameson Winston fiasco. All bets are off right now because Winston, even though he's touting that he can change some of his style, um, has not proven it. And Hill is trying to be more like a quarterback. Tom Brady taking some shots at people. What else we got here? AJ Brown over on the Laces squad. He has an arrow that maybe was shaken a little bit. Don't know that it really hurt it. Having to do with the trade of Julio Jones to the Titans. If you guys didn't know, he will be lining up next to Mr. AJ Brown, who's a fantastic little receiver. Not little, 220, 230. And there they have Ryan Tannehill there. So what effect is that going to have? You've got what was he saying? Jared Goff looking at Amon Ray St. Brown as a Cooper Cup thing. But again, this is all frivolous comedy at this stage in the game because uh, not only is it early, but Amon Ray St. Brown um, has the odds stacked against him in the first place because of his draft capital. I think it was fourth or fifth round or something, sixth. I don't know, but that never usually works out. We'll see. He's got some talent. You know he's got Josh. What the hell's his name? Josh Arnold, Jared Goff, Jared Goff. So how can he fail with Jared Goff? Um, So we've got some things kind of shaken here. We're going to go ahead and list some guests on the show. Have some what I like to call banter, the banter room. Uh, but it looks like people are kind of setting themselves up pretty tasty here in terms of the rosters. The look of the rosters across the league from year to year here from the last couple. I mean, things have definitely taken a turn and there's been a lot of backfilling and a lot more talent coming into the picture across the league, making it very, very indeed imperative. A lot of parity. So I think most of the camp's going to start here in about 3 weeks, end of July. So there'll be some news and fodder about that, some camps, some battles, and some things like that. But we're still going to have another one in 2 weeks. We're going to have another one. What would that be? About July 20th, probably. And then we'll have one at the opening, end of July, the opening of the training camps. We're going to go ahead and bring some people in, some guest speakers, and we're going to have a good old time. But it's always something fantasy to talk about. We can talk strategy, we can talk projections, we can talk such as look at here, Curtis Samuel last year. Curtis Samuel had like a 70 some percent catch rate, and he had like I think it was 800 yards in uh, in Carolina. So he was an up and comer, but now it's his fifth year, and he got traded to Washington. So what is going to happen with little Curtis Samuel? I see the engine that did, and now he can't, or or how does that frame out? But just a little nugget out there for you folks. When you look at Chris Samuel and then you look at DJ Moore, they both played where? In Carolina. Now, who scored the most points? Well, DJ Moore, he's a top 10. Of course he did. Well, he did, but it was only by a mere 9 points did one DJ Moore outscore Curtis Samuel. Uh, some say that Samuel will have some negative regression just for the simple fact that um, you've got some other talent there. You've got, um, well, the rookie Deami Brown coming in. He is absolutely no slouch. I'm really high on Deami Brown. I wish I could have fallen to me, but I had no picks. Uh, but then Terry McLaurin is the alpha one there, and he'll get a lot of targets. So, um, will Curtis Samuel play in the slot? Will he play on three receiver sets? Will the rookie play in three receiver sets? It's hard to determine here what's going to happen. Samuel is going to have a hard time getting off the field if he's putting up plays, but Deami Brown may very well push him. But nonetheless, I think they're going to have a pretty stout core in Washington football team, no doubt about it. Uh, what else we got here? We've got. It looks like Gronk is still getting it done. He's on the Laces squad, kind of uh, actually outperformed Hunter Henry. So something to be said for that. Just kind of go and pick and choose here. A couple more to pick on. Do 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 do. You've got Ty Johnson there, kind of Rod Dell Bateman's former classmate. Had a lot of talent, but look at there. He got a lot of people in front of him there in Tampa. So it could be a couple of years yet if he's going to go ahead and rear his ugly foreskin of a head. Devontae Freeman is still a free agent. Devontae Freeman, but you know what? I'd hold him for now, just because of the fact that you're going to go ahead and have guys be dropping like flies. Once they hit the pads, the preseason. Oh, geez, it's yeah, I pulled it, whatever. Things of that nature. Gabriel Davis. Now, how's that going to happen? Because I believe they got a number two there too. They got John Brown, I think, to go with their number one there, Diggs. So Gabriel gets pushed down a little bit, so that'll hurt some of his targets. Uh, Half Chubb still holding on to Julian Edelman for some uh, must be melancholy type reason. Uh, What else does he got going here? What else do we got shaking here that we could poke fun at people's rosters and things of that nature? Um, Meat came out very well again. He got Elijah Moore, picked up a pretty stout target magnet for the Jets there. She Smith, Carolina, absolutely no idea. He must have been a undrafted ah free agent there. Who else did he get in the draft? Well, he got Jamar Chase and he got Deami Brown. So, and he picked up Puka Williams, free agent. Uh, yeah, so he's actually sitting fairly, somewhat not as strong as he was for quarterbacks. Does is purple? He's got Kyle Allen, Carr, Jeff Driscoll in Houston, Daniel Jones, and then he's got Mitchell Trubisky. So he could certainly be a quarterback trade target once the Deshaun Watson thing goes away, and he's worth a first round pick at that point. So, or Hertz may end up lighting things up. Anyway, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for this edition of the Smashdale Fantasy Football Podcast. Just wanted to go ahead and get on, number one, get on camera as well, and to just flout the fact that I'm still wearing the Kansas City Chiefs bright red, arrow-headed cashmere cardigan, old guy cardigan. So anyway, folks, thanks for listening, and we're going to go ahead and check it out for another edition of the Smashdale Fantasy Football Football Podcast. Thanks for listening.